Every week, we ask our listeners and viewers to send in their business problems for myself and a guest to try and solve. So this week's problem came from Mike Steele. Mike hasn't told us his business name. Very simple one. He says, we're coming up to annual appraisal time. Any advice? So I'll give my 10 penneth, then Anna, you can give your 10 penneth. The first thing I would say is, why are you doing annual appraisals? That's far, far, far too long. There is no point in doing an appraisal on the 31st of December and say, well, on the 2nd of February, this happened. I didn't like it. It wasn't very good, or it was very good, blah, 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 blah. What we did in our business is I had weekly 15-minute one-to-ones with every member of my team. And the structure of that meeting was the team member had the floor for the first half of it, and I had the floor for the second half of it. And the topic of discussion was anything the team member wanted to talk about. It might be personal, might be business, might be what's affecting them, what's gone well, what's gone badly. And by doing that, you have eyes on the problems and the issues and the good stuff immediately, and you can give feedback immediately. So in our business, the only appraisal I think we had was a year-end pay review, and that was it. Everything else was done on a weekly basis. So, Mike, that would be my advice. Anna, what would you say to Mike?
I was echo. I mean, my biggest problem is the word annual in there. But to give a slightly different lens on it from the Shed perspective, we did a quarterly people review. So yes, we had weekly one-to-ones where there was an expectation that, line managers would check in with the staff, and that, any issues, and we had a real strong feedback culture at the Shed, and everyone was taught feedback training. Almost the first thing we did when we walked in the door was how to take accountability for your own feedback and driving change yourself. But we made sure that we had quarterly eyes on, right, how is this person doing? When are they going to be ready for promoted? How do we get them there? Is there anything that they need to get them there? Do they need some more training days? What is our expectation of this person? So this is kind of alludes back to the talent map I was talking about earlier. We had everybody on that map. And the thing that used to annoy me so much in the land of annual appraisals was if I joined a business in February, but the annual appraisals were done in December, I wouldn't get one that December. I'd be looking at another year and a half before I even got, into the pot for, my annual pay review. And I was just like, just completely unfair. So whilst the quarterly, took a while to set up, and it was a bit of a cadence to get into. But what it meant was you're not saving it all up for the end of the year, which is a huge mammoth task. We used to do annual appraisals at Hallmark, and we had forms to fill in. And I get it, a big organisation, you have to figure out something that that works, that allows the team to be able to manage that from a HR perspective. But while we're smaller, being able to just have this kind of rolling program of people reviews, and people develop at different rates, right? You need to promote them at different times. If someone's working really hard, don't wait a year and a half to promote them. You'll lose them. That's nuts. So yeah, lose the annual and figure out a more sensible cadence that takes some of the weight off.
There you go, Mike. Hope that's not upset everybody in the team, but you're going to have to cancel those annual reviews. So if anybody else has got a business problem they want me and a future guest to try and solve, drop me an email,